How to improve your writing through reading, also known as reading like a writer. Reading is not a passive activity if you're a writer, whether you want it or not. You're constantly listening, collecting thoughts, comparing, asking questions, even subconsciously. So here are some tools and habits that I developed for myself to read regularly and read deeply without getting overwhelmed, because sometimes all those annotation systems with like sticky notes and things like that, they can get really heavy, at least for me, person who is prone to perfectionism. So I realized the simpler and more minimal it is for me, the better I stick with it and the more benefits I get from it. So first rule that I'm trying to stick to is reading in the genre that I'm writing in. Usually I try to write in the genres that I like reading anyway, so it kind of works. It's like learning to play a musical instrument. Studying your genre helps you understand pacing better and tone and structure and audience expectation. Some people say we should read expansively, and even though I partly agree, because sometimes, like once in a while, we definitely need to read something new to kind of renew the palette, but also to kind of get out of our comfort zone. But overall, I would say if you have focus problems, or you're a perfectionist, or if you have anxiety related to your creative process, I can confirm that reading in other genres might very easily distract you from what you're trying to do. Secondly, choose slightly challenging books. Reading books that are a tiny bit above your level is a great way of polishing your writing skills. It's like increasing weights when you're lifting, if you know what I'm talking about. You grow by pushing just a little bit past your comfort zone. For me, for example, it meant gradually increasing the complexity of the books that I read in English. I started with Harry Potter, and then the book that I'm reading right now is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which I was terrified of when I bought it. And just the other day I was thinking, damn, I'm flying through this book, and like 2 years ago I could not imagine doing that. I would say any classics is always a good place to start. Young adult classics and then going up to more complex works. My next tip is using a tracker. For me, it's as simple as possible. I aim for 1 book a month. It's a very gentle, soft goal for me, and it works best because I know I will accomplish the goal, and most likely I will read an additional book, but that would be just over my accomplished goal, which is nice. And I know that if I set, for example, a goal of like 3 books a month, I would definitely feel stressed. So track your reading the way it's most comfortable and gentle. The goal is to kind of make sure that you're just always reading something. My next rule kind of feeds into this previous one, which is set daily minimums. For me, it's 10 pages. I know it's totally doable. If I really want to finish a certain book in a month, I take the total pages of the book, I divide them by 30, and then that's what becomes my daily goal. My day always starts with a cup of tea or coffee and a book, and sometimes I do have to get up early for that, but that's a sacred ritual that I will not ever skip. And who said it was gonna be easy? And finally, always keep a journal nearby. I do not have a reader's journal or a commonplace book. Those kinds of things always felt a little bit like a pressure for me. So I do keep my regular journal nearby at all times. It's always with me so that I can write down any ideas or quotes or reflections. Just writing about what I'm reading in a very free, relaxed way helps me not turn it into homework. So this was my little system of how I read books and how I stick to reading books in a mindful way. And in the next video, I want to talk about what exactly I pay attention to when I read that is like very efficient, that kind of helps me scan through the books and see through pages and through words. And I'm also planning on talking about how I annotate my books, which I did say I don't really do that, and I don't really do that, but there are a few simple things that I used to do, and I also want to tell you in case this works for you as well. So please stay, subscribe, and comment, and welcome. I love seeing you all here. I also have a Substack newsletter, honest thoughts and little rituals and practices that help you reconnect with yourself and your creativity. There's a lot of journaling, and I'll see you in the next video.